Captain Lee Taemin stood on the bridge of the starship New Seoul. Red lights flashed all around him. The ship was in trouble again. Outside the big windows, he could see the dark space filled with stars. But those stars did not make him feel better today. "Captain, we have another problem," said Officer Park Min-ho. He was young and always worried about everything. "The fusion reactor is getting worse. We are now at 58% power." Lee Tae-min closed his eyes for a moment. 58%. Yesterday it was 60%. The day before that it was 62%. Every day the ship got weaker. "What about the other ships in our fleet?" he asked. "The Bison is at 40% power. The Daegu lost another engine last night. Captain Kim says they might not make it to the next system." Lee Tae-min looked at the star map on the big screen. Their fleet had 23 ships. 2 months ago, they had 31 ships. The hegemony had destroyed 8 of their ships in the last battle. Each ship that died took thousands of people with it. Humans and aliens, all of them had been families. "Sir," said another officer, "Dr. Park So-jin wants to talk to you. She says it is important." Lee Tae-min nodded. Dr. Park So-jin was the head of the adoption center on their ship. She took care of the alien children who had lost their families. She was good at her job. Sometimes Lee Tae-min thought she cared too much. But that was why the alien children loved her. "Put her on the screen," he said. Dr. Park So-jin appeared on the screen. She had short black hair and kind eyes. But today she looked tired and worried. "Captain Lee, we have a problem in the adoption center," she said. "The new girl, Nala, she is not eating. She has not eaten in 3 days. Lee Tae-min knew about Nala. She was a Zelthri. Her people had blue skin and could feel what other people were thinking. The hegemony had killed her parents and her brother. She was only 15 years old. What do you need from me?" he asked. "She keeps asking about her home planet. She wants to know if there are other Zelthri still alive. I told her we do not know, but she will not believe me. She thinks we are lying to her." Lee Tae-min understood. When someone lost everything, it was hard to trust new people, even when those new people wanted to help. "I will come down and talk to her," he said. "Thank you, Captain." The screen went dark. Lee Tae-min looked around the bridge. His officers were all working hard. They were good people, but they were all scared. Everyone on the ship was scared. "Commander Kim, you have the bridge," he said. "Yes, sir." Lee Tae-min took the elevator down to Deck 7. The adoption center was there. It was a big area with many rooms. Each room was made to look like a home. The walls had pictures of different planets. There were toys and books and games from many different worlds. When Lee Tae-min walked in, he saw Dr. Park So-jin talking to a small alien boy. The boy had green skin and 4 arms. He was a Vorthak. His name was Crix. "Captain Lee," said Crix in perfect Korean. "Dr. Park says you are very busy, but you came to visit us anyway." Lee Tae-min smiled. Crix had been with them for 2 years. He learned Korean faster than anyone expected. He also learned English and Japanese. Vorthak were very smart with numbers and languages. "I always have time for you, Crix," said Lee Tae-min. "How are your studies going?" "Very good. I finished all the math books. Now I'm learning about star navigation. I want to help fly the ship someday." "That is a good dream," said Lee Tae-min. "Where is Nella?" Dr. Park So-jin pointed to a room at the end of the hall. "She is in there. She has been alone for hours. I tried to bring her food, but she will not take it." Lee Tae-min walked to the room. He knocked on the door softly. "Nella, this is Captain Lee. May I come in?" There was no answer. "I am coming in," he said. He opened the door slowly. Nala was sitting on the bed. She was very thin. Her blue skin looked pale. Her big eyes were red from crying. "Hello, Nala," said Lee Tae-min. He sat in a chair near the bed. "Dr. Park says you are not eating. Are you sick?" "I'm not sick," said Nala. Her voice was very quiet. "I just do not want to eat human food." "What kind of food do you want?" "I want kala fruit from my home. I want blue fish from our rivers. I want to eat with my family again." Tears started to fall from her eyes. Lee Tae-min felt sad for her. He had lost people too. His parents died when the hegemony attacked Earth. His brother died in the space battle at Mars. He knew how it felt to lose family. Nela, I cannot bring back your family. I cannot bring back your home planet. But I can promise you something. She looked at him. I promise that we will take care of you. The humans on this ship, we will be your family now. We will protect you. We will love you. Just like your real family did. But I am not human, said Nala. Why do you care about me? Lee Tae-min thought about this question. It was a question many of the adopted aliens asked. Why did humans care? So much about aliens they had never met before? Do you know what makes humans special? He asked. Nala shook her head. Humans are not the strongest. We are not the smartest. We are not the fastest. But we are very good at one thing. We are good at making families. Not just with other humans, with anyone who needs a family. But the hegemony says humans are evil. They say humans lie and steal and kill. The hegemony lies, said Lee Tae-min. They want to make you afraid of us. They want to make you think you are alone, but you are not alone. You have us now. Nella was quiet for a long time. Finally, she said, Captain Lee, if the hegemony comes back, will you fight them? Yes. Even if fighting them means you might die? Yes, even if it means other humans might die? Lee Tae-min nodded. Yes, we will fight to protect you. We will fight to protect all the adopted children on this ship. Because you are our family now. Nala started to cry again. But this time, she was not crying from sadness. She was crying from hope. Captain Lee, she said. I think I am ready to eat now. Lee Tae-min smiled. Good, Dr. Park will be very happy. They walked back to the main area together. Dr. Park So-jin was waiting with a plate of food. Crix was there too. Nala, said Crix. You are out of your room. Are you feeling better? A little bit, said Nala. She sat down and started to eat. The food was not kala fruit or bluefish, but it was good food made with love. While Nala ate, Lee Tae-min's communication device beeped. He looked at it. The message was from the bridge. Captain, please come back now. We have a big problem. Long-range sensors show hegemony ships coming. This way, a lot of them. Lee Tae-min looked at Neela and Crix. They were just children. They had already lost so much. Now they might lose even more, but he had made a promise. He would protect them. All the humans on the ship had made the same promise. They would fight for their adopted family. I have to go back to the bridge, he told Dr. Park So-jin. Take care of them. Always, she said. As Lee Tae-min walked to the elevator, he thought about what was coming. The hegemony fleet would be big. His ships were damaged and weak. Many people would die in the coming battle, but they would fight anyway, because that was what humans did. They fought for their families. Even when their families came from different worlds and had different colored skin, the elevator doors closed. Lee Tae-min was going back to war. Captain Lee Tae-min ran back to the bridge. His heart was beating fast. The elevator seemed to take forever. When the doors opened, he saw all his officers looking at the big screen with worried faces. Show me what we have, he said. Commander. Kim Jae-woo pointed at the screen. Red dots were moving toward them through space. There were many red dots. Too many? 37 hegemony ships, Captain. They will be here in 6 hours. The biggest one is a battle cruiser. It has enough weapons to destroy our entire fleet. Lee Tae-min felt cold. 37 ships? His fleet only had 23 ships, and most of them were damaged. What about our weapons? He asked. The new Sol has 60% weapons power. The other ships are worse. Captain, we cannot win a direct fight. Lee Tae-min knew this already, but he had to ask. He had to be sure. Send a message to all ship captains. Emergency meeting in 1 hour. Use the secure channel. Yes, sir. Lee Tae-min looked at the red dots again. Each dot was a ship full of hegemony soldiers. They were coming to kill everyone, humans and aliens, adults and children. They did not care. 1 hour later, Lee Tae-min was in the conference room. On the screen, he could see the faces of all the other ship captains. Captain Song from the Bizen, Captain Yoon from the Daegu, Captain Han from the Incheon. All of them looked tired and scared. "Everyone can see the enemy fleet," said Lee Tae-min. "We need to decide what to do. Commander Kim will tell you our options." Commander Kim Jae-woo stood up. He was a tall man with gray hair. He had been a soldier for 20 years. He knew about war. "We have 3 choices," he said. "First, we can run. Split up our fleet and try to hide in different systems. Some of us might escape." "What is the second choice?" asked Captain Song. "We can try to talk to them. Send a message asking for peace. Maybe they will let us go if we give them something." "They want." Captain Yoon made an angry sound. "The hegemony does not make peace. They only want slaves and dead enemies." "What is the third choice?" asked Captain Han. Commander Kim looked at Lee Tae-min. "We fight. We use the experimental weapon that Dr. Choi has been working on. But there are risks." "What kind of risks?" asked Captain Song. "The weapon creates a quantum field that stops hegemony neural control technology. But it might hurt our adopted aliens. 2. We do not know what it will do to non-human biology." The room was quiet. Every ship had adopted aliens. Children who had lost their families, adults who chose to live with humans. If the weapon hurt them, the humans would never forgive themselves. "How many adopted aliens do we have in the fleet?" asked Lee Tae-min. 3,047, said Commander Kim. 800 of them are children. Lee Tae-min thought about Neela and Crix. He thought about all the other alien children who trusted humans to keep them safe. "I want to talk to Dr. Choi about the weapon," he said. Meeting adjourned for 2 hours. "Think about our choices." The screen went dark. Lee Tae-min walked to the science lab. Dr. Choi Hai-won was there, working on a big machine. She was the smartest person on the ship. She understood things that most people could not even imagine. "Dr. Choi, tell me about your weapon." She looked up from her work. Her hands were dirty with oil and her hair was messy. "It is not really a weapon, Captain. It is more like a shield. The hegemony controls their soldiers with neural implants. My device creates a field that breaks those implants. But it might hurt our aliens?" "I do not know. Alien brains are different from human brains. The field might do nothing, or it might make them sick, or—" She stopped talking. "Or what? Or it might make them stronger. Some of our tests suggest that the field could enhance alien abilities instead of harming them." Lee Tae-min was surprised. "Stronger how? Crix is very good at math, right? The field might make him even better. Nala can sense emotions. The field might make her sense thoughts too." This was interesting. But also dangerous. What if the aliens became too powerful? What if they decided they did not need humans anymore? Lee Tae-min pushed these thoughts away. He trusted the aliens on his ship. They were family. "How long do you need to prepare the weapon?" 4 hours, but Captain, there is something else. If we use this weapon, every hegemony ship in the galaxy will know where we are. They will all come for us. "We will worry about that later," said Lee Tae-min. He left the lab and went back to the adoption center. He wanted to see the alien children before making his final decision. In the main room, he found something wonderful. Human children and alien children were playing together. A human girl named Kim Soo-jin was teaching a young Vorthak how to draw. A human boy named Park Dong-woo was learning a Zelthri singing game. Dr. Park So-jin saw him and walked over. "Captain, is it true? Are the hegemony ships coming?" "Yes, we need to make a hard choice. The weapon we might use could hurt the adopted aliens." Dr. Park So-jin looked at the children playing. "What do the aliens think about this?" "I have not asked them yet." "Maybe you should. They are part of this family too. They should have a voice in decisions about their lives." Lee Tae-min realized she was right. The aliens were not just refugees to be protected. They were crew members. They were family. They deserved to know the truth. "Can you gather all the adult aliens? I want to talk to them." 30 minutes later, Lee Tae-min was in a meeting room with 43 adult aliens. There were Vorthak, Zelthri, Kree, and others. Some had been with the humans for years. Others were new. "I need to tell you about our situation," he said. He explained about the hegemony fleet. He explained about the weapon and its risks. When he finished, the room was quiet. Then an old Vorthak named Grix stood up. Captain Lee, 2 years ago, my people were slaves. The hegemony took our children and made them into soldiers. You humans freed us. You gave us homes and families. Now you ask if we want to risk our lives to fight the hegemony? Grix looked around the room at the other aliens. I say yes. We fight. If your weapon kills us, at least we die as free people, not as slaves. One by one, the other aliens stood up. They all agreed. They wanted to fight. A young Zelfri female named Vera spoke last. Captain, there is something you should know. We aliens, we talk to each other. We share stories. Do you know what we call you humans? What do you call us? The family makers? Because wherever you go, you make families. Not just with your own kind, but with anyone who needs a home. Tears came to Lee Taemin's eyes. He had not expected this. Thank you, he said. All of you. He left the meeting and went back to the bridge. The red dots on the screen were closer now. 4 hours until they arrived. Commander Kim, send a message to all ships. We fight. Prepare the weapon. Yes, sir. Captain, are you sure about this? Lee Taemin looked at the stars outside. Somewhere out there was Earth, somewhere out there were other human colonies. All of them had adopted aliens. All of them were families. Double quotes. Yes, we are sure. HFY Stories. Adopted by Humans Book 3, Chapter 39, Part 2, The Scattered Fleet, continued. Captain Lee Taemin ran back to the bridge. His heart was beating fast. The elevator seemed to take forever. When the doors opened, he saw all his officers looking at the big screen with worried faces. Show me what we have, he said. Commander Kim Jae-woo pointed at the screen. Red dots. We're moving toward them through space. There were many red dots. Too many. 37 hegemony ships, Captain. They will be here in 6 hours. The biggest one is a battle cruiser. It has enough weapons to destroy our entire fleet. Lee Taemin felt cold. 37 ships. His fleet only had 23 ships, and most of them were damaged. What about our weapons? He asked. The new Sol has 60% weapons power. The other ships are worse. Captain, we cannot win a direct fight. Lee Taemin knew this already, but he had to ask. He had to be sure. Send a message to all ship captains. Emergency meeting in 1 hour. Use the secure channel. Yes, sir. Lee Taemin looked at the red dots again. Each dot was a ship full of hegemony soldiers. They were coming to kill everyone, humans and aliens, adults and children. They did not care. 1 hour later, Lee Taemin was in the conference room. On the screen, he could see the faces of all the other ship captains. Captain Song from the Bizen, Captain Yoon from the Daegu, Captain Han from the Incheon. All of them looked tired and scared. Everyone can see the enemy fleet, said Lee Taemin. We need to decide what to do. Commander Kim will tell you our options. Commander Kim Jae-woo stood up. He was a tall man with gray hair. He had been a soldier for 20 years. He knew about war. We have 3 choices, he said. First, we can run. Split up our fleet and try to hide in different systems. Some of us might escape. What is the second choice? Asked Captain Song. We can try to talk to them. Send a message asking for peace. Maybe they will let us go if we give them something they want. Captain Yoon made an angry sound. The hegemony does not make peace. They only want slaves and dead enemies. What is the third choice? Asked Captain Han. Commander Kim looked at Lee Taemin. We fight. We use the experimental weapon that Dr. Choi has been working on. But there are risks. What kind of risks? Asked Captain Song. The weapon creates a quantum field that stops hegemony neural control technology, but it might hurt our adopted aliens too. We do not know what it will do to non-human biology. The room was quiet. Every ship had adopted aliens. Children who had lost their families. Adults who chose. 2 hours before the hegemony fleet arrived, something strange happened on the new Sol. Crix came running to the bridge. His 4 arms were moving fast, and his green skin was bright with excitement. Captain Lee! Captain Lee, he shouted. I can hear them. Slow down, Crix, said Lee Tae-min. Hear who? The hegemony ships? They are sending coded messages to each other. I can understand them. Commander Kim Jae-woo looked surprised. That is impossible. Hegemony codes are too complex. Our best computers cannot break them. But I am not using a computer, said Crix. My brain can see the patterns. The numbers make sense to me now. Dr. Park So-jin had followed Crix to the bridge. Captain, something is happening to all the aliens on the ship. They are changing. What do you mean, changing? Nala says she can feel the emotions of people on other ships. The Kree children are seeing colors they never saw before. It is like their abilities are getting stronger. Lee Tae-min realized what was happening. The quantum field, Dr. Choi said it might enhance alien abilities. It is starting already. But we have not turned on the weapon yet, said Commander Kim. Dr. Choi's voice came over the communication system. Captain, please come to the lab. You need to see this. Lee Tae-min hurried to the science lab. Dr. Choi was standing next to her big machine. The machine was humming softly and blue light was coming from it. Dr. Choi, is the weapon ready? More than ready, Captain. The quantum field is already working. It started when I powered up the device for final tests. The field is weak now, but it is affecting the aliens. Is it hurting them? No, it is making them better, stronger, smarter. I think this field does not just stop hegemony neural control. I think it frees alien minds from all limits. This was good news and scary news at the same time. Good because it meant they're alien. Friends would not be hurt. Scary because no one knew how powerful they might become. Captain Lee, said a voice behind him. It was Nyala, but she looked different. Her blue skin was glowing slightly and her eyes seemed to see everything. Nyala, how do you feel? I feel wake, like I was sleeping before, and now I am awake. Captain, I can sense the hegemony soldiers on their ships. They are afraid. Afraid of what? Afraid of their commanders. The hegemony uses fear to control everyone. But Captain, some of the soldiers are not really soldiers. They are slaves like they want to be free. This gave Lee Tae-min an idea. Can you talk to them, the alien slaves on the hegemony ships? I think so, but I need help. I need other aliens with me. Within 1 hour, Lee Tae-min had gathered 12 aliens with strong mental abilities, Nala, Crix, and 10 others. They sat in a circle in the main meeting room. Dr. Park, So-jin, and Dr. Choi were there to help. What exactly are you going to do? Asked Lee Tae-min. We are going to reach out to the alien slaves on the hegemony ships, said Nala. We will tell them they can be free. We will tell them about human families who adopt aliens. And I will break their neural control implants, said Crix. I can see the code patterns now. I can turn them off. Lee Tae-min was amazed. These aliens who had been scared children just days ago were now talking about freeing slaves across space. Is this safe for you? Nothing is safe anymore, Captain, said an old Zelthri named Moran. But this is right. We must help our people who are still slaves. The aliens joined hands, their eyes closed. The room became very quiet. On the bridge, Commander Kim Jae-woo was watching the enemy fleet. Captain, the hegemony ships just stopped moving. They are not advancing anymore. What are they doing? I do not know. Wait. I am getting strange readings from their ships, energy patterns I have never seen before. Lee Tae-min smiled. He knew what was happening. The aliens were reaching across space to their enslaved people. In the meeting room, Nella opened her eyes. They were glowing with blue light. Captain, it is working. We have contacted 43 alien slaves on the hegemony ships. They are ready to rebel. How many hegemony ships have alien slaves? All of them, said Crix. The hegemony uses aliens for many jobs. Cooking, cleaning, maintaining machines. The aliens are everywhere on their ships. And now those aliens know they can be free, said Mirn. Suddenly, red lights started flashing on all the human ships. Emergency alarms were sounding. Captain to bridge immediately, came the announcement. Li Taemin ran to the bridge. On the big screen, he could see the hegemony fleet. But something was wrong. Some of the ships were firing at other ships. Commander, what is happening? The hegemony fleet is fighting itself. 12 of their ships have turned against the others. Those are the ships where the alien slaves rebelled, said Nyla. She had followed Li Taemin to the bridge. The freed. Aliens have taken control. This was incredible. The battle had not even started, and already the hegemony was losing ships, but the main hegemony battlecruiser was still coming toward them. It was huge and covered with weapons. Captain, said Officer Park Min-ho, the battlecruiser is sending us a message. Put it on screen. A hegemony commander appeared on the screen. He had gray skin and red eyes. He looked very angry. Human ships, this is Commander Vex of the hegemony battlecruiser Death's Hand. You have used illegal weapons against our fleet. Surrender now, or we will destroy you all. Li Taemin stood up straight. This is Captain Li Taemin of the human fleet. We did not attack you. Your own slaves chose freedom. We will not surrender. Then you will die, all of you. Humans and your alien pets. The screen went dark. Captain, said Commander Kim, the battlecruiser is moving toward us again. It will be in weapons range in 30 minutes. Li Taemin looked. Around the bridge, his officers were scared but ready. Through the windows, he could see the other human ships. Each ship had families inside. Human families and alien families. Dr. Choi, power up the quantum weapon to full strength. Yes, Captain. All ships, prepare for battle. This is what we trained for. But as the quantum field grew stronger, something unexpected happened. The aliens on the human ships began to change even more. Crix's eyes started glowing with green light. Nyala's skin became bright blue. Other aliens were growing taller, stronger, faster. Captain, said Nala, we can do more than break neural implants. We can fight? How? Together? Humans and aliens together? We can do things that have never been done before. Li Taemin realized that this battle would be different from any battle in history. It would not just be ship against ship. It would be families fighting for families. Humans and aliens united as one people. All ships prepare for something new, he announced. Today we show the galaxy what family really means. The hegemony battlecruiser was getting closer. But the human fleet was ready. They had something the hegemony did not have. They had love. They had trust. They had family, and they had alien friends who were becoming more powerful every minute. The hegemony battlecruiser Death's Hand was now close enough to attack. Captain Li Taemin could see it clearly on the main screen. It was 3 times bigger than the New Soul. Its weapons could destroy his entire ship with one shot, but something amazing was happening on the human ships. The quantum field was making the aliens stronger every minute. Crix could now solve math problems faster than the ship's computer. Nyla could feel the thoughts of people on distant ships. Other aliens were discovering new abilities they never knew they had, Captain, said Nyla. I can sense the alien slaves on the Death's Hand. There are 67 of them. They want to help us, but they are afraid. Afraid of what? The ship has death collars on all the slaves. If they try to rebel, the collars will kill them. Li Taemin felt angry. Death collars were the cruelest thing the hegemony used. They put metal collars around the necks of their slaves. If the slaves tried to escape or fight back, the collars would kill them instantly. Can we help them? He asked. Maybe, said Crix. If I can get close enough to their ship, I might be able to turn off the collars with my mind, but I need to be very close. This was dangerous. To get close to the Death's Hand, they would have to fly right into its weapons. Captain, said Commander Kim Jae-woo, we have another problem. Some of our own crew are getting scared of the aliens. What do you mean? The aliens are changing so fast. Some humans think they are becoming too powerful. There's talk of keeping the aliens locked up until after the battle. Li Taemin could not believe what he was hearing. These aliens are our family. They are our friends. I know that, Captain. But fear makes people do stupid things. Before Lee Taemin could answer, Dr. Park So-jin came running onto the bridge. "Captain, you need to come to the adoption center right now. There is a problem." Lee Taemin followed her to Deck 7. When he arrived, he saw something that made him very sad. A group of human adults were standing outside the adoption center. They had energy weapons in their hands. They were pointing the weapons at the alien children inside. "What is going on here?" he demanded. A man named Cho Sang-woo stepped forward. He was the head of the ship's engineering department. "Captain, these aliens are becoming too dangerous. Look at them. They are glowing. They are reading our minds. What if they decide to take over the ship?" Lee Taemin looked through the window into the adoption center. The alien children were indeed glowing softly, but they were not acting dangerous. They were sitting quietly, looking scared and confused. "Mr. Cho, these children have done nothing wrong." "But Captain, what if there is no what if?" said Lee Taemin firmly. "These children are part of our family. They have always been part of our family. If you point those weapons at them, you are betraying everything we stand for. But Captain, no buts." Lee Taemin's voice was loud and angry. "Everyone put down your weapons, now." Slowly, the humans lowered their weapons. But Lee Taemin could see they were still afraid. "Listen to me," he said. "I understand you are scared. We are all scared. But being scared does not give us the right to hurt innocent children. These aliens have lost their families. They have, lost their homes. All they have left is us. And we will not abandon them." Dr. Park So-jin opened the door to the adoption center. The alien children came out slowly. They looked hurt and confused. "Why do they want to hurt us?" asked a young Vorthik named Teak. "We have done nothing bad." Lee Taemin knelt down so he was at eye level with the children. "They do not really want to hurt you," he said. "They are just scared because you are changing. But change is not always bad. You are becoming stronger so you can help us fight the bad people." Nala stepped forward. She was taller now, and her blue skin was bright with energy. "Captain Lee, we do not want to make the humans afraid of us. Maybe we should stay locked up until the battle is over." "No," said Lee Taemin. "We are a family. Families stay together, especially when things are hard." An old human woman named Kim Hae-suk spoke up. She was the ship's teacher. "Captain, maybe the children are right. Maybe it would be safer." "Safer for who?" interrupted a voice. Everyone turned to see who was speaking. It was Crix, but he looked different now. He was taller and his green skin was shining with golden light. "Safer for the humans who are afraid," Crix continued. "Or safer for the hegemony? Soldiers who want to kill us all?" Crix walked to the center of the group. When he spoke, his voice was calm but strong. 2 years ago I was a slave. The hegemony took me from my parents when I was 5 years old. They put a collar around my neck. They told me I was nothing but a tool to be used. The humans listened quietly. Then Captain Lee and Dr. Park found me. They took off my collar. They gave me a name. They gave me a home. They gave me a family. For 2 years I have been happy. I have been safe. I have been loved." Crix looked at the humans who had been pointing weapons at the alien children. "Now I am changing. I am becoming stronger. I am becoming smarter. And you are afraid I will hurt you. But do you know what I want to do with my new power?" "What?" asked Cho Sang-woo. "I want to protect my family, all of my family, human and alien. I want to make sure no child ever has to wear a slave collar again." The humans looked ashamed. They had been so afraid of the aliens becoming powerful that they forgot why the aliens wanted power in the first place. "Crix is right," said Dr. Park. "So-jin, these aliens are not becoming our enemies. They are becoming our strongest protectors." Suddenly, alarms started ringing throughout the ship. "All hands to battle stations." Came the announcement, "Enemy ship approaching." Lee Taemin looked at the humans and aliens around him. They were all looking at him, waiting for his orders. "This is it," he said. "The battle is starting. We can fight as a divided group, afraid of each other. Or we can fight as a united family. What do you choose?" Cho Sang-woo stepped forward. Captain, I am sorry. I was wrong to be afraid. If the aliens are willing to fight for us, then we should fight with them. One by one, the other humans agreed. They put away their weapons and shook hands with the alien children. Good, said Lee Tae-min. Now let us show the hegemony what a real family can do. As they ran to their battle stations, Lee Tae-min felt proud. His people had faced their fear and chosen love instead. Now they were ready to face their enemies. The Death's Hand was almost in weapons range, but the human fleet was united. They had humans who were brave and smart. They had aliens who were becoming more powerful every minute. Most importantly, they had trust in each other. The battle was about to begin. But Lee Tae-min was not afraid anymore. He had something better than fear. He had hope. 3 days after the great battle, the human fleet was very different. What had once been 23 damaged ships was now a convoy of over 100 vessels. The freed alien slaves had brought their own ships, and more aliens were arriving. Every day, Captain Lee Tae-min stood in the largest meeting room on the New Seoul. The room was full of humans and aliens from dozens of different species. They were all talking and planning together. It was beautiful chaos. Captain, said Dr. Park So-jin, we have a problem. A good problem, but still a problem. What kind of problem? We have too many children. The adoption center cannot hold them all. We need to build more centers on other ships. Lee Tae-min smiled. Having too many children to care for was the best kind of problem to have. Do it. Build as many centers as you need. There's something else, said Dr. Park So-jin. The children want to do something special. They want to send a message to other enslaved aliens in the galaxy. What kind of message? A message of hope? They want to tell other slaves that freedom is possible, that there are families waiting for them. This was a wonderful idea, but also dangerous. If the hegemony intercepted the message, they would know where the human fleet was located. Captain, said Nala. She approached them with Crix and several other alien children. We know it is dangerous, but we also know it is right. There are millions of alien slaves out there. They need to know they are not alone. Crix nodded. The quantum field has made us very powerful. We can send the message in a way the hegemony cannot trace, but other aliens will be able to hear it. How? Asked Lee Tae-min. Through our minds, said Nala. All aliens are connected in ways humans do not understand. If we work together, we can reach every enslaved alien in the galaxy. Lee Tae-min thought about this. It was risky, but these children had already proven they could do amazing things. What do you need from me? Permission, said Crix, and trust. You have both. 2 hours later, Lee Tae-min watched as 50 alien children sat in a circle in the main meeting room. They were holding hands and their eyes were closed. Humans and aliens who were not part of the mental link watched quietly from around the room. The children began to glow. First just a little, then brighter and brighter. The light was not harsh. It was warm and gentle, like sunlight. We are sending the message now, whispered Nala, to every corner of the galaxy. Lee Tae-min could not hear the message with his human mind, but he could feel it in his heart. It was a message of love, a message of hope, a message that said, you are not alone. There are people who care about you. There are families waiting for you. The glow around the children grew brighter. Then suddenly it began to pulse like a heartbeat. The pulse grew faster and faster, until it was moving at the speed of light across the galaxy. When it was over, the children opened their eyes. They looked tired but happy. It is done, said Crix. Every enslaved alien in the galaxy has heard our message. What happens now? Asked Lee Tae-min. Now we wait, said Nala. Some will find ways to escape. Others will rebel against their masters. And some will just hold on to hope until we can find them. Commander Kim Jae-woo came into the room. Captain, we are receiving the transmission from Admiral Chun-Wei's fleet. They will arrive in 6 hours. How many ships? 2,437 ships, Captain. From both the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies. Li Taemin could hardly believe it. 2,000 ships. That was more than enough to take the fight to the hegemony. There is more, said Commander Kim. Admiral Chung says they have news about Earth. What kind of news? She will tell you when she arrives. The captain, she sounded very excited. 6 hours later, Li Taemin stood on the bridge watching as the largest fleet in human history came out of hyperspace. There were ships of every size and shape. Human ships, but also alien ships from species he had never seen before. The flagship was a massive vessel called the Terra Nova. Admiral Chun Wei's face appeared on the main screen. She was older than Li Taemin remembered, but her eyes were bright with joy. Captain Li Taemin, she said, it is so good to see you alive. Admiral Chun, welcome home. We have much to tell you. And I have much to tell you, Captain. But first, let me introduce you to some friends. The screen changed to show the bridge of the Terra Nova, standing next to Admiral Chun were aliens unlike any Li Taemin had ever seen. They were tall and graceful, with silver skin and 4 arms like the Vorthok, but their eyes were ancient and wise. Captain Li, meet Ambassador Thane of the Andromedan Alliance. His people have been fighting the hegemony for 1,000 years. Ambassador Thane stepped forward. When he spoke, his voice was like music. Captain Li Taemin, we have heard much about you and your people. The way you adopt alien children and treat them as family has become legend in our galaxy. We just do what feels right, said Li Taemin. That is why we are here, said Ambassador Thane. We want to learn from you. We want to join your fight against the hegemony. But most of all, we want to be part of your family. Admiral Chun smiled. Captain, the Alliance has 3 million ships. They have technologies we have never dreamed of. And they all want to work with humanity. Why? Asked Li Taemin. Because, said Ambassador Thane, in all our travels across both galaxies, we have never found another species like humans. Other species adopt members of their own kind. Some adopt closely related species. But only humans adopt anyone who needs a family, regardless of what they look like or where they come from. It makes you unique in the universe, added Admiral Chun. And it makes you the leaders of the greatest alliance ever formed. Over the next several hours, Li Taemin learned amazing things. Earth had survived the hegemony attack and was rebuilding. Human colonies across the galaxy were thriving. And everywhere humans went, they adopted alien refugees and built mixed families. But the best news came from Dr. Park Seo-jin. Captain, she said, running onto the bridge with tears in her eyes. We are receiving messages, hundreds of them, from all over the galaxy. What kind of messages? From enslaved aliens who heard our children's message. They are escaping, they are rebelling. They are asking for help to find human families. Li Taemin felt his heart swell with pride. The children had done something miraculous. They had lit a spark of hope that was spreading across the entire galaxy. Admiral Chun, he said, I think we need to build more adoption centers. Admiral Chun laughed. Captain, we are going to build 1,000 adoption centers on 1,000 different worlds. The hegemony thinks they can win through fear and slavery. But we are going to win through love and family. When do we start? Asked Li Taemin. We already have, said Nala. She was standing at the back of the bridge with Crix and the other alien children. They were all glowing softly and they were all smiling. The message we sent, said Crix. It was not just to enslaved aliens. It was to every good person in the galaxy, human and alien. It told them that there is a place where everyone belongs, a place where everyone is family. And now they are coming, The battle began with a flash of light that could be seen across the entire star system. The hegemony battlecruiser Death's Hand fired its main weapons at the human fleet. The energy beams were so powerful they turned space itself bright white, but something incredible happened. The beams did not hit the human ships. What just happened? Asked Commander Kim Jae-woo. Those shots should have destroyed us. The aliens, said Captain Li Taemin. Look at them. All across the bridge, the alien crew members were glowing with bright energy. Nyala's eyes were shining blue. Crix's skin was golden. Other aliens had colors that humans had never seen before. We made a shield, said Nala, all of us together. We bent space around the ships. You can do that? Asked Lee Tae-min. We can do many things now, said Crix. The quantum field has awakened abilities we never knew we had. But Captain, we cannot hold the shield for long. We need to attack. The Death's Hand was preparing to fire again. But this time the human fleet was ready. All ships, attack pattern Omega, ordered Lee Tae-min. Target their weapons systems. The human ships spread out and began firing. Their weapons were much smaller than the hegemony guns, but they were fast and accurate. The alien crew members were helping by predicting where the enemy would move next. Direct hit on their forward weapons, reported Officer Park Min-ho. But they still have 12 other weapon systems. Captain, said Nala, I can feel the alien slaves on their ship. They are ready to help us, but we need to get closer. How close? Very close, close enough for Crix to reach their minds. This was the most dangerous thing they could do. Flying close to the Death's Hand meant flying into all of its weapons. All ships, form up on the new Sol, ordered Lee Tae-min. We are going in. The human fleet moved toward the massive enemy. Ship. The Death's Hand fired everything it had at them. Energy beams, missiles, and plasma cannons all shot toward the human ships, but the aliens were ready. Working together, they created shields of pure energy. They bent space and time around. The fleet. They made the human ships move faster than should have been possible. Impossible, came a voice over the communication system. It was Commander Vex from the Death's Hand. What are you doing? How are you doing this? We are doing what you never could, replied Lee Tae-min. We are working together. The human fleet was now very close to the Death's Hand. Crix closed his eyes and reached out with his mind. He could feel the alien slaves on the enemy ship. They were afraid, but they were also hopeful. I can sense the death collars, said Crix. They are connected to the ship's main computer. If I can break into that computer ... do it, said Lee Tae-min. Krix single quotes S mind reached across space. He found the computer system on the Death's Hand. The hegemony had made it very complex with many locks and traps. But Crix could see the patterns. He could understand the code. Found it, he said. Breaking the locks now. On the Death's Hand, 67 alien slaves suddenly felt their death collars turn off. For the first time in years, they were free. The effect was immediate. The slaves began fighting back against their hegemony masters. They took control of weapon systems, they opened airlocks, they shut down engines. What is happening to my ship? Screamed Commander Vex. Your slaves are not slaves anymore, said Lee Tae-min. They are free, and free people do not like bullies. The Death's Hand was now flying in circles, out of control. Half of its weapons were not working. Its shields were down, but the battle was not over. The other hegemony ships were still fighting, and they were getting help from somewhere else. Captain, said Officer Park Min-ho, I am detecting more ships coming out of hyperspace. 25 new hegemony vessels. Lee Tae-min felt his heart sink. They had been winning against the First Fleet. But now there were even more enemies. We cannot fight that many ships, said Commander Kim. Yes, we can, said a new voice. Everyone turned to see Dr. Choi Hai-won. She had come to the bridge and she was smiling. Dr. Choi, what do you mean? Captain, the quantum field is not just affecting our aliens. It is affecting all aliens everywhere, including the aliens on those new hegemony ships. What are you saying? I'm saying that every alien slave in the new fleet is about to be freed. Right now, as if her words were magic, the new hegemony ships began to behave strangely. Some stopped moving, others started firing at each other. A few began sending friendly messages to the human fleet. This is impossible, said Commander Vex. You cannot free all our slaves at once? We are not freeing them, said Nala. They are freeing themselves. We are just helping them remember what freedom feels like. Within an hour, the battle was over. Most of the hegemony ships had been taken over by their own slaves. The few ships that were still controlled by hegemony forces were fleeing as fast as they could. The Death's Hand was now floating dead in space. Its engines were off, its weapons were destroyed, and its crew was locked in their own prison cells by the alien slaves they had abused for so long. "Captain Lee," came a voice over the communication system. It was one of the freed aliens from the Death's Hand. "This is Zara, speaking for all the freed slaves. We want to thank you." "You do not need to thank us," said Lee Tae-min. "We are all family now. That is what we want to talk about. We have nowhere to go. Our home planets were destroyed by the hegemony. Can we ... Can we come with you?" Lee Tae-min looked around the bridge. His human crew was smiling. His alien crew was glowing with happiness. "Of course you can come with us," he said. "We always have room for more family." Dr. Park So-jin was already making plans. "We will need to expand the adoption center. We will need more schools, more homes, more everything." "We will make it work," said Lee Tae-min. "We always do." As the human fleet began to gather the freed aliens, something wonderful happened. The different alien species began to work together in ways they never had before. Vorthak were teaching Zelthri about mathematics. Kree were learning Zelthri songs. Former enemies were becoming friends. "Captain," said Nala, "I can sense something, far away but getting closer. More hegemony." "Ships? No, something else, something ... familiar." Crix's eyes suddenly opened wide. "Captain, I am detecting a transmission. It is very faint, but it is coming from outside our galaxy." "What does it say?" Crix listened carefully. Then he smiled the biggest smile Lee Tae-min had ever seen. "It says, 'This is Admiral Chun-Wei of the Terran Colonial Fleet. We are coming home. We are bringing friends.'" Lots of friends. Lee Tae-min felt tears in his eyes. Admiral Chun-Wei had been missing for 10 years. Her fleet had been exploring the Andromeda Galaxy when the Hegemony War began. Everyone thought they were dead. "They are alive," he whispered. "They are coming home." "And they are bringing friends," added Nyla. "I can sense them. Thousands of ships. Millions of people. Humans and aliens all working together. The war was not over. The hegemony was still out there, still enslaving people, still destroying worlds. But now humanity had something it never had before. It had allies. It had friends. It had a family that stretched across the entire galaxy. "Set course for the rendezvous point," ordered Lee Tae-min. "We are going to meet our family." As the human fleet flew toward the distant stars, Captain Lee Tae-min thought about everything that had happened. They had started as a small group of refugees, scared and alone. Now they were part of something bigger. Something better. They were part of a family that would never be broken.